All right, everyone. We are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, your chief host of the show, and joining me as usual is none other than my co-host, Noble.
Good morning. And I absolutely love watching adult grown men sitting there and stealing Pokemon cards, or the whole scalpers who are trying to get as many Pokemon cards as possible. It's entertaining.
I know, right? I can't believe the whole card market is infested with this sort of thing, and it's not just endemic to Pokemon. I think people like me and Vera know the problem is also endemic with Magic the Gathering and a
Oh
whole variety
joy!
of
Oh,
card
goodness, is
games.
it? That is correct. It gets
I'd
deep.
love to. I'd love to see My Little Pony bring out a successful card game. See what that. See what happens
Oh
there.
man, now you're talking.
Huh. Huh.
Like imagine, like
Yeah.
grown man bronies, as we would call them, just fighting over the last set of booster packs in a freaking store. Bonus points if they actually do that in cosplay.
Oh
Yes.
no!
Yes. During like gaming events, like that will happen. It'll all be caught on CCTV.
Oh no, it's not just that, but in a store, even like in any little game store, even. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you're right. Like friggin', I would imagine a My Little Pony card game to that same vein would be a thing. I mean, shit, Disney already made one, and it's taking the market by storm. You heard about Lorcana?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I myself don't play it, but I've seen it around here and there. So yeah. Anyway, to join up on the show today, we have a Vera.
Ah! Yeah, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. Uh, Back here again. Fantastic. It's been a pretty groovy week, man. Weather's been beautiful. I've been getting out of the house more, going on nightly walks, and I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah, I
shocking
mean, I don't
because
know how these. Huh?
yeah, it's shocking good right now. Sorry to interrupt, but and I agree with you on the weather point because it's like down here. It's is the last week of winter, and now it suddenly went from cold and rainy all week the week before, and now the week that passed for me was just sunny and it got a bit warm.
Oh, nice, nice.
It's crazy. It's like
Yeah, but pretty
winter wants
much.
to finish, but it doesn't want to leave just yet, and it's like now it's a bit. Oh yeah, the cold's back.
Yeah, in the southern hemisphere,
Anyway,
as the Earth wobbles and tilts back and forth. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was pretty nice week, like I said. So I'm looking forward to whatever we got planned for these topics here. Let's see how my mood changes over time, but I'm sure there's.
oh, 100%. We'll have something for you. Oops, must have been cutting out a bit. But shall we just jump right into it?
I
Yeah.
absolutely want to. All right, here we go. Wrong one.
So
I understand. Yep.
yes, we talked a bit about this just last week. That there was a documentary called The Furry Detectives.
Yeah. And I prepared a little speech for everybody after my slugfest watching the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. And just for formal records, this little speech, if not at that, will also be published on the Furry Raiders website, where it is a pseudo sort of documentary review, if you could call it that. But needless to say, Noble, see, what have you got prepared for us? What have you dug through for science trademark?
I understand that anyone who watches the Furry Detectives will find the content upsetting, if not downright disturbing. I should point out that I've seen way too many documentaries over the years containing a ton of topics most people would need a lifelong therapy after watching. So for me, it's just a walk in the park, Now, I was expecting to have a look at a look and feel of a show like, Curse of Oak Island, if you've ever seen that. Surprising, it was actually rather professional. Anyway,
Ooh.
I want to take a shot at the comic book vigilantes, and I'm glad they allowed themselves to take part in this. I have to thank you so much. It was entertaining. First off, they talked about the fairy Nazi and how FurCon was taken down. Okay. So FurCon, where an attendee wanted to punch a Nazi and publicly posted this on Twitter before wanting to bring along a gun, which caused the security to blow out, and unfortunately, yeah, the con had to get shut down. So a con that allowed everybody to come, and all you had to do was follow their rules. You want to explain why that's like a bad thing? Why a con like that deserves to get shut down? Now for the second nitpick. FurCons are safe and family fun places. You want to make a furry cringe? Bring a pizza box to a FurCon. That and there's that one furry that likes to walk around in a suit that's made of, well, let's call them used stuffed animals. There's a couple of times I've seen video footage of suitors sort of like doing it on their balconies. And let's not forget about the AIDS posters. How do you think a parent would react if this kid just walked up to him and said, can I get an AIDS test? That would be absolutely funny. I'd love to see someone recording that shit. Third, for the self-proclaimed reporter or whoever want to talk about Telegram being a place for people who like to bake cookies and cakes. That's how the platform was referred to. So, kind of bullshit. And then we've got my fourth sort of topic that I kind of need to change this on now. So here we go.
All right, it's got a picture change for our viewers, and now this
here we go.
Of one of the people starring in the documentary, Connor Goodwolf, titled "Cybersecurity Expert," and in quotes, "and dox my friends out of sheer fun."
So, for some context for this, my fourth point was the cybersecurity expert who likes to dox his friends for shits and giggles. Yeah, no, really. That sounds like a great person to be in bed with. I mean, later on, another member talked about how her account was hacked, photos of a baby were posted, and other stuff. Communications from hateful people, not very nice. I myself had the utter joy of a few fun messages, such as reminder to leave the furry raiders, leave the furry raiders or else, and the whole cost-benefit analysis of leaving the furry raiders. To what? Buddy up with a gang of people who use cyberbullying tactics as a playbook? Like the Scientology squirrel busting? Oh, by the way, doxing in Australia is listed under cyberbullying. So, am I supposed to just simply join you guys? And number 5, this group is stupid twats don't care to fully research and understand the targets, questioning the ethics of working with someone they hate. Even the fucking Nazis in World War II, leading up to it, understood the benefits of working with the quote-unquote wrong people. With these twats, it's just drop a nuke and be done with it. I guess they never bothered to learn about the US's war on drugs or understand what it means to be a professional reporter. I just have to say thank you. Thank you so much for all this screen time. That's pretty much what I got written.
Well,
wow.
this final report
pretty
shall
good,
be with a couple of grammatical edits and all that. That shall be up on the Furry Raiders website all in due time for those who are curious about said documentary. With our choice of gold mines from the documentary pictures too. So to add.
Did you look at that? So, Connor grew his hair out. Oh, that's interesting.
What ahead? Anyway, so with that said, I think the other common complaints that we touched on last week from the reviews that we found on Rotten Tomatoes was that the storytelling felt a bit stifled, and they just couldn't really go into it. Was that kind of
Honestly, episode 1 was a fucking drag. I was questioning why the hell are they turning around and focusing so much on the people who are supposedly like the good guys. Episode 2, it sort of kicked off a little bit better, and then sort of 3 and 4, they really hit hard. But I loved how they just showed these idiots couldn't figure out like how to be a professional reporter or how to take care of this sort of responsibly. And using their logic, every single member of that group is a furry. That's their fucking logic for you.
So it's almost as if it's like, everything that stays in house basically gets in house, and it's just right.
I would like to find out about their dirty little laundry if that ever gets out. Not to mention they seem to have, with the way they were putting it, pissed off a lot of people.
Right, maybe not.
By actions taken. By actions that they have taken as a group, which, not a good idea.
So, as someone who's never seen this documentary or any like really clips of it or much like that, except for what you've shown here, what exactly are the quote unquote good guys going after? Like, what are they exposing? Are they is it? You said the first one was a drag. Okay, so like, what do they actually talk about? Like, are they just introducing characters, or like, what's the goal here? Like, what are they? Do they have an agenda or like an angle, do you think, or is it just some kind of exposure of cherry picking some weird people doing some weird shit? Like what's going on here?
So in the synopsis itself, it basically states zoo sadists. And
so that's like the main thing.
Yeah, the only two types of people they bring up from this sub-community would be that they're going after would be zoophiles and zoo sadists. But for some weird ass reason, they can't distinguish between the two. What occurred was that somebody in the, I think it was they had another thing, it was like beast forms or whatever it was, and he apparently met someone on, I think it was Telegram, and they were sharing some pretty, let's just go extreme shit. One of the people who were doing it, at least one of the first guys that got taken down, he allowed someone to log into his Telegram account, and that person downloaded all the files, went through it, found out that shit was a lot fucking worse, and then decided that a so-called furry reporter was the best person to approach for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good idea.
The problem is that if this person was in Australia, I don't know what the US laws are like about this, but the evidence that was gathered up by the person who did the leak would be considered criminal having possession of in Australia.
Oh, well, that's okay. I get that. Kind of like if you're holding contraband, even like, oh, it's not mine. It's from a friend.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't. No, that would get you into a lot of trouble in Australia. The website in Australia for cyberbullying even makes it clear, even if you see something that isn't right, do not screenshot it because you can still be, prosecuted for it.
Well, I see. In that case, I think I'm sure a sensible judge would look at that and be like, this is a good Samaritan finding evidence for the court. He's not downloading this shit for his own pleasure, right?
Yeah, this is Australia, not America, Avira.
Citizen.
Right, Avira,
right,
this is not... I'm referring to Australia, not America, so it's going to be different over there. To what end? I don't know.
But I'm saying even in Australia, like that sucks. Like, damn, that's crazy. That's how it is over there. Here in the USA. They have good Samaritan laws.
Documentaries I've seen in the past, if these idiots had bothered watching them, they'd understand that you'd be better off going to a more well-established news agency or organization and reaching out to one of their reporters and saying, look, hey, I've got something bad, instead of going to some fucking twat on the internet, which sort of, the leaker was also on here. So he also appeared on the show itself, which probably wasn't a good idea. Eventually they got a second person, which was a bit yeah, it seemed like he may have been a bit of a vulnerable type of person. Finally, you had the last person, which was more of a professional, and I remember seeing the news story about him a couple of times back in the day. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. This turned out to be an international sort of thing, but whew, I have seen stuff like this before. There was one about pedophiles, for instance, and that was interesting. A lot of people talk about how, oh, documentaries like this have existed for a long time. I mean, shit, do you know why Google has safe search? Do you?
Yeah, I mean, to protect kids and stuff. I mean, it didn't used to have that.
Yeah,
Google used to be
no.
wild back in the day.
No, see, the problem is, and I'm going to cut this down, but what would happen is that kids would get online, so like teenagers. And I remember one story in, I think it was a BBC Panorama special, where you had a counselor from a school, might have been a school, it might have been private, organized anyway. And she ended up getting a number of people coming in who went through some pretty traumatic sexual experiences with kids their own age. So this wasn't like, friends of the playground or anything. But it left them traumatized because the guy would want to try something that he saw on a video while, having searched on Google, and they get to some of the more graphic and aggressive porn websites. So, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Government's really pushed for it, and that's the reason why we have it. Not to mention this, like MS-13 documentaries, World War II documentaries. I mean, recently I learned about Germany's finances during the World War II, and holy fucking shit. Anyway.
Yeah, wild. Oh, man, I love history.
Oh, yeah. Learn from it, otherwise you'll be doomed to repeat it. Just like some people did. I mean, shit, look at the war on drugs.
It's crazy how it all happens, isn't it, though? It's
Yeah.
like...
So we have this this documentary series going on. Okay, they're exposing all of this horrific stuff going on.
Wait till the Roblox one comes out from the dude who did a show literally called To Catch a Predator. I can't wait.
Roblox? What?
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, Roblox basically got into hot water when a vigilante tried to uncover some sort, the whole thing about predators in the game, and then Roblox themselves decided, nah, please don't.
That vigilante made it very damn well clear he knows exactly what entrapment is, which is something like a next level compared to these fucking twats.
And as you kind of know, like Roblox is basically something that's a lot bigger, and it's really popular with the sort of thing that it can be a bit of a scary situation.
Well, Roblox and other online games and stuff like that is super popular with young kids. So predators would go there because most of the people they would interact with would be minors, probably, right? Like, I don't know. I'm sure older people play Roblox too, but it's also it's for everyone. A lot of people play the game, but a lot of it is kids too. It's like one of the few games that everybody could really play.
It was originally
go there for that.
My understanding is that games is meant for children only.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Roblox?
Is it like Minecraft?
It can be like
Roblox,
but it's more like you create whatever you want in it. Roblox can do a lot. You can do a lot of things in Roblox. I mean, yes, it's got this, the blocky, squarey sort of thing, which is it's reminiscent of Minecraft in that way. Then again, I haven't really touched Roblox, so.
Yeah, me either. Or Fortnite. I know Fortnite, there's professional adult players that play Fortnite, and they win a lot of money for it. So, tournaments or whatever. I played Mario Smash in a tournament once. That was fun. I won $5. Anyways,
So all up though, if you had to give a score for this documentary, what would you rate it out of in a score of like 5 stars or 5 tomatoes or?
If you can if you can sidestep the sort of like shock value for what it brings up, the way it was filmed and everything, I'd give it like a 8, 9 out of 10. Just with how professionally it was shot versus, well, when you look at something like The Curse of Oak Island.
oh wow, really that high, huh? I mean, I guess like
Yeah.
editing wise, they probably had a professional production team and all of that. They were well funded. All right,
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
get that. Yeah, but like content wise, was it informative or was it misleading? Was it positive, negative? You think on in certain
Well, you
aspects?
got
Like,
to
what was
see
the overall
certain
message?
you got certain information about how things were found out, how they acted upon them.
Okay.
That
Goodness.
was so fucking hilarious. Those fucking idiots. And then you also got to see the police's sort of point of view on things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Right, because I think another one of the gripes that people seem to have was that this is the sort of thing that you basically should rush to the authorities with, rather than, try to take some sort of like certain action with it, right?
This is the type of thing where you're better off handing it off to something like federal level police. So in Australia, that'll be the AFP. In the US, that'll be the FBI.
Yeah, clear. I gotcha, because some of those definitely some of those crimes are definitely quite heinous.
Well, if you were to go through the data and you found that it was international sort of dealings, yeah, that's more like federal sort of level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, were there any other little interesting tidbits that you found in the whole mini-series that you'd like to share?
Not really. It'd be
Okay.
spoiling it for those who want to find out for themselves.
Right, like if you've got the stomach to witness through it.
Oh, yeah.
But alas, like we said, there's a whole treasure trove full of information and whatnot. And sometimes it's just best to give them the rope to say their piece. For they may not know, they will condemn themselves with it.
Give them a nice, strong, sturdy shovel.
Indeed.
Dark.
So now let us move on to the next item that we've got. And while we are indeed highlighting all the mishaps within the furry community and more, there is a war going on inside of it. And those you may not know. Inside the furry war playing out on Blue Sky. Yeah.
Ah, yes, aka Timo Twitter or Timu Twitter.
All right. Now, subtitle is anthropomorphic tigers and quote-unquote puppy girl shot callers are flooding some Blue Sky users' feeds, and people are starting to push back, signaling a larger vibe shift on the platform. Can't believe they use a picture of this. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's
I
a
wonder when-
war.
I wonder when furrycons are going to start banning your whole like army furs. Oh wait, that's already happened, hasn't it?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, it started
gear
with police dogs. Remember? Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
All
Well,
right, so let's read on here. Can
the
you zoom in
first
a little bit more?
the first line is, monsters are real and ghosts are real too. They live inside us and sometimes they win, said by Stephen King, noted Blue Sky user. And and all of that stuff. And so like the story goes like this, like after you go through Twitter and then you decide, you know what, you go to Blue Sky, you press enter, And then, I mean, apart from all this whole politicking thing that they're obligated to say on the first paragraph, well, the first couple of paragraphs,
Mm.
you find out and you say to yourself, what in God's name is that an anthropomorphic tiger wearing a diaper?
Diaper furs are a thing, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And what is this for exactly? Is this like what?
Right. And here's the thing, like
Why is this?
why is this the thing? Like once you go into blue sky and you find yourself bombarded with all of these things, well, we are for the sake of reporting obligated to go through the pictures and all that and the rest of and bits and pieces of the articles. And so
Oh
yes,
boy,
this is not this will no longer be considered, family friendly as an episode, and that's what happened with it.
we are
So
going to delve into degeneracy. You have been forewarned.
yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, yes, we had the whole saga of Space Marines, and we still remember the whole disabled Space Marines that the lefties made just to own the right wingers and the Warhammer fans. That disabled people in wheelchairs and nose rings can have Space Marine armor and kick ass, supposedly.
Yes. That was a goof. I thought that was fake.
Yeah, this is next level sort of thing.
Gotta love
Oh
trolling.
boy.
Yeah. God, they did what to Bluey, of course, to the whole Bluey characters. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
All right,
Wait,
so
that's Bluey with the dad bod. Oh,
yeah.
hello.
One of the Bluey's father with it is commonly depicted, by furries with a dad bod and all that stuff. I mean, it's probably indicative that a lot of these people seem to have daddy issues.
okay, just so everyone understands, don't ever go to E621 and look up Bluey or any other cartoon character that you hold dear, because you'll be traumatized.
Hmm.
Well, now Noble Yale just caused the Streisand effect. Now people are gonna go do that. I'm kind of curious now.
Who says that wasn't my intent? Besides, if you
Dun, dun,
if you sign up
dun.
for an account on Fur Affinity and you refresh the page like every few minutes, you'll find that there is like adult human porn on there being posted. There's some pretty graphical images that get posted. So this whole furry thing about it being like for everyone is there are a lot of little subgroups that you probably want to avoid like the plague. I know
Yeah,
I do.
and so and that's where we get in the next paragraph here is that, of course, now the writer basically goes on and says what are furries and so forth. Again, at minimum, they share a basic interest in anthropomorphic animals. It's not a new phenomenon. And now they're saying that they're using Blue Sky, of course, to share it, to revel in all their degeneracy. I mean, of course, it's not. I mean, granted, it's nothing new because people have, of course, before that, been using Twitter to revel, and then Tumblr to revel in their degeneracy as well. So, again,
But yeah, Tumblr's bad. Tumblr's a bad one.
and then what is new, and of course, what is new is that this is they're doing this whole thing to for cultural analysis, and even then, some people say Blue Skies are still getting all these issues blasted face first. So yeah, so and yet the funny thing is they've basically gone through. So from there they have to
Oh,
they
hang
go
on.
through and they yeah
Sorry.
go on.
This a little bit down here. The furry fandom first began taking shape in the 1980s, growing out of science fiction and comic book conventions where fans bonded over anthropomorphic characters from popular cartoons. By the 1989 first dedicated furry convention conference, was it?
Yep, conference. Yeah, that's right.
Held
And
in Costa Mesa, California. What started with around 65 attendees quickly grew to an annual event attracting over 1,000 people by the late 1990s. But with the advent of internet marketed
Mark the turning point. Soon, of course. As you were
soon,
saying,
platforms
for
like Fur
Affinity.
Affinity 2005, LiveJournal, DeviantArt, which is now an AI slot farm. Furry creators gained centralized spaces to post their freaky furry artwork, roleplay, and build online identities, or what they call personas. This digital infrastructure fueled their furry growth, and while more conventions like Anthrocon and Midwest Furfest were introduced, evolving massively yearly events.
Yeah, so they of course they had to contextualize and say like what's the history behind all of this, of course. And they,
Yeah,
and
this
then
is pretty much a recap.
yeah. And then, in 2010s, I think, would you agree that the 2010s were pretty much the turning point where furry basically, emerged from the closet and started hitting the mainstream? Really, sort of thing.
2010s. Yeah, early to mid 2010s, like 2015ish, when things started to become political. I think the 2016 election is when shit really got bonkers.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's really when furries got super political and shit really got nuts. And
Yeah,
then there was
and
just more after that. And the pandemic also was another bump in that as well to become more
yeah,
mainstream because
and
everything
of
was
course,
online.
you've had the whole mainstream thing that they highlighted, like like the whole furries are infiltrating schools and all of that, and cat litters and all
Mhm.
that, and the whole furries act in
Yeah.
Texas. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that didn't help. Whatever the fuck that was weird. I don't know what the fuck happened
I find
with
it
that,
funny, to
but
be honest.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like an SNL skit or something. When
I
SNL
think
used to be good.
people need to learn what fetishes are and why it's not a good idea to do them in public spaces. But that's just me.
No, yeah, you're totally right. Like I've seen too many articles. We've all seen this, but how they call being a furry a fetish. It's like no, no, it isn't. It's
Unfortunately,
like
this
the
is
same
what
thing with like you
what
know.
seems to be presented in furry, like whenever like sometimes when the first thing you say, you enter.
It's like you go to like the same thing as like an anime con or something or like a
Yeah.
comic con. You dress up as characters and stuff. It's just a fun hobby to do. For most people,
Now,
Oh
this is a
yeah.
but they
rather
make it seem like
interesting.
it's all this crazy shit. Yeah.
I'm seeing a rather interesting paragraph here, which shows that this is a proper actual reporter versus some people out there. However, as I've learned
Mm-hmm.
in the process of writing this piece, the concept of identifying with a particular persona apparently isn't universal amongst furries. Some are simply drawn to the art and enjoy sharing on the platforms like Blue Sky amongst other like-minded peers. Often interspread. It's difficult to read this with other
Interspersed with
kinks
other kinks. Yeah.
like the aforementioned diaper and shock collars. Others do identify with their personas, however, with some genuity in their heart of hearts, believing themselves to be animals in the manner not dissimilar to what?
Oh, then basically, in other
Okay.
words, they do say that it's Therians in the in the
Believe
footnote.
themselves to be born in the wrong skin tone. This camp apparently sometimes views as
As
from
distinct from furries
furries
under a different denomination called
denomination.
Therians. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
She had me
yeah.
in the first part of that paragraph when she basically the first few sentences was a pretty basic, understanding of what furry like it really is, and then she got into the weird stuff after that. But the first part of that paragraph made a lot more sense, and if she would have stopped there, it would have been fine. Totally agree,
No,
100%. She's totally on point.
there's a
Is it a
whole
she?
bunch more.
Yeah,
Whoever wrote
like
this, but they
Okay,
go
yeah,
into a
okay,
lot
yeah.
more details about stuff they've come
Oh
across, which
goodness.
right.
definitely
Okay,
worth
what
a
else have they
read.
come across?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's go. Okay, what else have
like
they come
yeah, definitely.
across?
Like
Goodness.
they do have to touch on with people who have taken the whole thing to the
Hmm?
extremes, and including even sexual attraction to animals, which is like a 2018 study says 7% of those in the community
Oh
Now,
yeah.
in 2025, the statistic may be a bit different, but I mean, you get the point. And still, so
Mhm.
what they did after that, like they went to Furry Weekend Atlanta to see, to have it, to have it organizers, to have a talk with the organizers, and one of the people in the organizers say, at its core, being furry is simply enjoying anthropomorphic media, animals with human characteristics like Zootopia, Kung Fu Panda, Bugs Bunny. Yeah, so that's a good,
Right.
that's a good
Okay.
foundation to build upon, right?
That's something to explain to a normie. Makes sense. Okay.
hmm Yeah, some people just enjoy the media while others create original characters, personas, contextual marks. These personas can have personal meaning or just be a fun reflection of who the person is. It's really up to each person to decide what that character means to them. Okay? Okay.
All right. I'm with you.
Mhm. Continued. Self expression and creativity are encouraged in the furry fandom, which creates a big melting pot of people with varied interests from different walks of life. And like any other fandom, furry is a common ground for many and shapes people's lives by creating community and friendships. Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
And yeah,
All right. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, sure. I don't really see anything controversial about that. Kind of just a basic description.
okay. And then so of course, like we get to the whole extremes. Not all furries are basically in the quotation of pirate wires, raging bestiality practitioners who deserve to be put on a watch list. Dot dot dot. But that still hasn't stopped even the users on Blue Sky from getting sick of seeing their content. And perhaps this speaks to a larger failing of the site in general. After all, one of the downsides of becoming a platform that functionally serves as a left wing echo chamber where quote unquote trans flag in bio is the norm, and every
Mhm.
LGBTQXYZ plus spin off under the sun is wholeheartedly embraced in the name of inclusion TM, is that it
Mhm.
opens the door for groups like the furries to come pouring in en masse, tail in hand. As a result, more socially moderate users simply try and get the daily news and take or read the wisdom of Karas, which have become inadvertently exposed to, well, yeah, tigers wearing
Tigers
diapers.
wearing
Oh
diapers.
no, no, no. See, that's the thing. They're saying that all this LGBT LMNOP stuff is coming from furries because our fandom was hijacked by all that craziness, and now furries are attacking or not attacking, but like primarily on this platform now. Blue
Avira,
Sky
never
as like a
forget the M.
protest to Twitter.
Never forget the M. Don't forget the poor maps. They're trying to. I can't fucking.
They need representation as well. Hey, you know what? Groomers got a goon. That's hashtag. Why
I
not?
have to admit, I really want to know if that reporter was trying to make actual jokes or if they were being really cynical because I was laughing at some of those comments. Some of the paragraphs, I mean, shit.
Goodness.
Oh. It's actually nice to come across a decent reporter that seems to be able to like do their job properly.
Right, it's like as if
Yeah.
somebody like you, okay, go. It's like you got the assignment. Go to Blue Sky, investigate what the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing of furries is all about, and then dive down the rabbit hole. And of course, using your own knowledge of you sticking in Blue Sky, what conclusions do you find?
And then just hope
Yeah.
you can get
Good
enough
luck.
therapy through work.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my goodness. That's like going undercover in the lion's den. Good luck.
Yeah, it's like
Holy
so the furry
bonkers.
war will not. It's like I just want to say this. It's like the furry war will not be played out in furry conventions or anime conventions or furmies or what have you. It will instead be played out on Blue Sky.
Yes, the battlefield.
It really surprises me how people went completely batshit crazy and decided to harass like a 10-year-old kid who attended Free for All, that first one,
hmm
and yet
I
that was a bad con, and yet some ones where they got like posters about you might want to get yourself checked for AIDS if you like have some more extracurricular activities here. That's
wait,
going to
wait,
be
wait,
good when the
wait,
parents
what?
walk in. There are a couple of
Uh,
FurCon I've seen. They've got like freestanding posters and stands. Like, yeah, get yourself checked for AIDS.
those are pretty funny. But no, I don't think you mean free for all because there were no 10-year-olds at that con. Like there were
I
no
mean, I
kids
still
there.
remember about a fake post. Yeah, they're right, but yeah, I still remember about a fake post about somebody who supposedly was at free for all, but it was just such a. It ended up just being such a lame troll attempt.
Oh, really?
No,
Huh.
yeah. There were no kids at free for all. You might be thinking of FWA, like Furry Week in Atlanta. Like there were kids there, a bunch of them, like families and stuff. And
Maybe. Anyway,
Anthrocon,
it
of
was a
course.
But
while
then
ago.
again, of course, people basically did this troll attempt to try and take peg free for all down a notch, but again, didn't happen. Still, crazy times. But I just find it absolutely funny that this is the culture war in the whole thing that they're trying to investigate. Wrong.
Makes me wonder if we got any more reporters joining just to find out how bad the Raiders chat is.
Yeah. You know what? We
sometimes.
should. We could use some media attention here and there. Why not?
Perhaps, but you know what? Then again, this was the same blog that that wrote an article some 4 years ago, which completely seemed to have flown under the radar, titled "Are Furries Freaks?"
Oh, geez, that's kind of harsh and direct. Goodness.
No, I'd say that
Yeah.
statement is accurate.
I mean, it is, but that's kind of mean. Like, as a title for an article, goodness, you're trying to definitely get some eyes there.
Look at some of the artwork they could put that's posted in our Telegram group by people. And
I know. Hey, we dress up as animals for fun. Of course, it's fucking weird. Duh. But whatever. It's just like to explain it to normies with a title like that to introduce them to it. That's kind of, I think, mean-spirited. I don't know.
But I mean,
That's
it's
not
more
the
like,
title I would use.
again, it's more like they had to be a bit sensationalist for the clicks. But as you know,
Yeah, for the attention. Yeah, of course.
but again, like when this is part of the whole cultural thing that they're investigating, then it's like it's kind of like how they did say in the article that we went through, a furry war on Blue Sky. Now,
Yeah.
as you know, like I'm all for Blue Sky imploding under the whole the whole massive degeneracy and all that they've so happily brought onto themselves. And I'm on the side of popcorn here, and so
when Blue Sky got started, my understanding was that it was more of or was this Mastodon? It's more of a. It's not a singular company like Twitter. It's something that's broken up to different groups and organizations.
And then the owner of Twitter at the time, Mr. Jack Dorsey, had decided to make an offshoot, and then of course he sold Twitter to Musk, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
So really though, and you're right though, if Blue Sky collapses, the next frontier in the furry war would be on Mastodon.
The next place the police are going to end up diving through to find anything they can arrest people on.
You're right. So
haven't been on that, but
yeah, me neither. Haven't been on that either, but it's looking to be a wild ride.
yeah, I was on Twitter for a bit, but it's good to be off.
Yeah. So we've got one more thing to go through for this week, and it seems to be as if like the whole war thing is a prevalent theme here, if you can call it that. But this is a different kind of war right now. It is a war not on the furry front, but on the digital front. And now there are two things here, two involved parties here, and they are the British government and 4chan.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Okay, so this one here, the UK government is basically threatening 4chan a $20,000 fine with daily penalties because of the whole, And the reasoning seems to be stemming from the whole, the UK is enforcing the whole age verification and safety stuff to quote unquote prevent disinformation TM. And yeah, they believe that 4chan is quote unquote needs to be censored to quote unquote protect children and its citizens from misinformation TM.
You probably want to get like a sledgehammer and some fire to burn the hard drives that the website's actually kept on, because yeah, good luck for that on 4chan.
Right, of course. They say, all this stuff like, yeah, of course they've added the whole, age verification thing, and then, for sites that say, allow porn among other things. And the office, UK Ofcom, the main insurgent behind all of this says, our new guidance confirms that any age checking methods must be, accurate, robust, reliable, and fair. Any age checking methods must be the same thing. And of course, and all that other stuff, like, and that's kind of like, as we all know, the whole thing is a bit of like, it sets a scary precedent, your private
Well, is it true
information.
that before they kind of figured out what they were doing, they would have people take like pictures like of their face to like verify that they were who they were,
Right,
or like
that's
pictures
the
with their
whole,
family and like weird stuff like that, kind of?
right, like, and then they put the whole thing on a database that you check, kind of like, cross check or whatever. And of course, it's just, a whole mess of like data harvesting and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I think it got like way more intrusive than that, because like to prove that they're not kids, like you have to either show your driver's license. Well, that's later on that happened, but they had to like show you in pictures and like verify your social media. And this is like for a company, so I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. Like if you want to join a company that does that, that's on you. If you want to divulge all that personal information, and that was kind of a strange request from the company, I would say.
Right. And so, the whole war basically started like, after refusing to reply with an April request from Ofcom to produce a risk assessment report regarding the ability for minors to access adult materials on the website. 4chan was subsequently informed in June that the UK agency will be launching a direct investigation into whether the site has, quote unquote, has failed or is failing to comply with its duties to protect its users from illegal content. Right. See.
Oh goodness! And what kind of illegal content? Like, are they selling drugs and weapons and stuff online?
Right.
It's 4chan. It's going to be a lot of shit posting.
Oh, like porn and shit. Okay.
It's not so much the porn
So
and all
are
that.
they
Like,
just trying to
let's
stop
be real
trolls?
here. It's 4chan, and 4chan are basically the most among the most like chaotic, neutral sort of people that you can ever find.
Now, the thing
but like that's what you expect.
The thing I would be asking is, what country's jurisdiction is 4chan under?
Delaware, United States of America.
Okay, so a British the British government wants to control the material that's allowed on an American website.
Right, they're trying to
not going to go down so well.
Yeah, they're trying to extort an American platform to try and comply with British or European guidelines, and with threatening with like $20,000 a day fines. And
I
course,
was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
About the fines. Is it like retroactive, like from once they first started this lawsuit, and then every day since, it's going to be a $20,000 like for their legal fees, or like what are they talking about here?
Again, they're threatening with like 20,000 daily penalties. And
if they don't do what? Censor certain content that they want them to censor? That's totally fucked up.
Well, yeah, like censor the content, apply obey the age verification and stuff guidelines and all of that.
That's even okay, yeah, that too.
And of course, and comply to Thingo. And of course, 4chan says no. Our lawyers are basically saying no, doing all that, and again, it sets a precedent as to like how foreign powers can basically try to step on and intrude on stuff that applies. That should be a matter that applies to like American law and standards.
Could you
See,
imagine?
yeah, see, that's weird.
Could you guys imagine the U.S. government going after a website in some Middle Eastern country that's all sort of like Muslim, and it's a forum that does nothing but describe and talk about things with their religion? Can you imagine the Americans getting butthurt about how it's like killing people in slavery, and it's like, oh, we have to shut this website down, blah blah blah. It's insane. It's like,
You know, the British are,
it's a
it's the same sort of precedent though. Like the British are basically trying to do that to maintain the control. But I can think of many other people. You bring up the same point with the Muslims and that. Why you
it's
think
outside of
like why you think
Sure, they've done
Islamic
this.
like
Man, I'm
Islamic
sure they've done
nations
this.
have to have these blasphemy laws and so forth. And I can think of other groups of people who are basically the Jews as well. Like the whole, how they have to cry a lot of anti-Semitism.
I can also probably think about all of the pro-ISIS websites that popped up in like the early 2010s. When ISIS really took a stronghold in Syria and Iraq. They had propaganda all over the damn place. They were posting on YouTube. They had Twitter. They had websites, GoFundMe's, all the crazy shit all over the damn place. And that was a lot of it was targeted towards Westerners too. Like it was in English, stuff like that. So I
if the
guess to crack
content
down on
is
that, like as an active threat against our country, it would kind of make sense at least to keep an eye on it, right?
oh hell yeah. But the thing
Yeah.
is that if this website, 4chan, isn't under the jurisdiction of the British government, why do they think they can turn around and be successful? I mean, they're acting as if it's some sort of multinational corporation like Apple or whatever, or IBM or Microsoft. Like they've got a footprint and servers and services running within the British sort of territory. But as far as I'm aware, it's just a website you access.
Yeah,
actually, a big troll I'd love to see 4chan do is put up a big sign. So if you access from like British controlled territory, you access the sites like, look, unfortunately, you're not allowed to access this website. Go away, or backdoor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're trolls. I mean, come on, seriously. It would be a great way to turn around and give the British government a big ass finger. It's like, yeah, well, look, we're turning around and saying, look, you can't access it, but we just leave the backdoor link open.
I think, and you know what though, and if they're trying to step against 4chan, you know what 4chan are pretty damn good at? They're basically damn good at all these troll campaigns and finding skeletons in people's closets that they're trying to hide.
Yeah, very, very dedicated user base for that. Plus, I'm sure, after all their notoriety, how much money they generate, they probably have a pretty damn strong legal team as well. A lot of these controversial websites, at least nowadays, they definitely do. So I would imagine they're not worried about anything. They're just going to continue to do what they do and just keep on rolling. That's probably just what's going to happen here.
No, I know for sure. 4chan is resilient as heck.
Yeah, like it's a blowover. It's fine.
I would seriously hope that any of the more, let's go with the term, active trolls sort of keep their distance while all this legal shit's going on, and not cause their the legal team for 4chan any sort of drama.
Yeah, just more paperwork, basically. You don't want that.
Yeah. Oh no. And then when everything's over, sort of like hit hard.
Any comments from the audience?
Not that I can think of right now. That's okay. But I think it's just so funny. Like this isn't, again, I do want to mention that this is not 4chan's first rodeo when it comes to getting in trouble with government entities and all that stuff. 4chan knows how to handle that shit and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. Like I said, they definitely have a pretty solid legal team, when it comes to dealing with this shit. Free speech, man.
Yeah, but you know what though? It's just so funny. Like I think we have to have an opportunity here where we basically crack jokes about the priorities of the British government. Like, who are they really trying to protect? Are they trying to protect some people, or are they trying to protect the women from the because they have a dedicated team for like the catcalling police?
I'm pretty sure it's the Australian Karens that are, getting all pissy about this sort of shit.
It's oh no. I mean, I'm not talking so much about collective shout, but rather like I saw on a thing that the UK does legitimately have a a catcalling police.
I know, I've seen them
Under-
too. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like they're just running around the streets, like coming up.
Tosh.0 did an excellent episode on how you handle people who like to do catcalling. You just take them to another city. You have them walk down a street where a bunch of, gay men are turning around and catcalling the guy. That was gold.
Oh.
It's like, oh, you think catcalling's good? Well, why don't you experience it? That dude was pissed afterwards. It was gold. People are thick.
Ah, man, even God, Bongland is funny. They're really, really, really what's it called? It's just so hilarious. I don't think it's one of those things they really, really underestimated trying to step to 4chan on this space. Oh man.
So how do you think 4chan's going to handle this? Are they actually going to like what are they going to do here?
Oh, they've got a statement from the lawyers and all that stuff. They're and of course they're basically calling on Trump to hold because I think even the president has noticed that and has repeatedly cautioned Bongland not to to slow down on the censorship thing, not to go full hard with it. And you know what Bongland does? That.
Yeah.
They double down.
Yes. Yes, precisely. And you know what 4chan is going to do as usual? Make Bongland memes.
Oh man, do we have any to like show?
Oh yeah, I think I can share with you some of the whole 4chan, 4chan and all that stuff, residents and that. But you know what? It's fine. I can't get one as of right now, but
yeah, okay.
Too high. Yeah, right, but it's all good though. Yeah, but I'd say you know what? Look at the time, and I think that's I think it's a good time to call this a wrap, and it's quite a lot of crazy things that's happened this week, wouldn't you say?
Oh,
I would
very
say
much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what'd you say? What say you close this one out? A little statement.
Well, I have to admit, the furry detectives were definitely an interesting watch. You got Blue Sky, which it's really funny to watch what happens when you get people behind keyboards without their faces sort of exposed, what they'll say and do. Gotta love Blue Sky. Can't wait to see what's next. I remember Tumblr. The lesbians on that side. I mean, shit. Well, what was it? The lesbian feminists or something that were causing all this fucking drama. And then when they tried to sell out, they had to kick off a lot of people that just moved themselves to Twitter. And Twitter became a cesspool of goddamn crazy shit. That's going to be me for now.
Yeah.
How about you, Avira?
Well, I don't have a Netflix subscription, but I'm very interested in. Well, not very interested. I've seen a lot of documentaries, but this piqued my interest about the furry detectives documentary. I might just have to watch it. Pretty much, I'm just looking for anything that mentions, something significant, like if it relates to someone that I know or anything involved in that. Because otherwise, it's kind of just like regular drama.
They talk about us quickly.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like if they mentioned the Raiders or something like, oh okay, but it's I don't know. I guess it's all right. I've seen a lot of weird misinformation documentaries out there, so I don't know anything really about the whole thing, but seems interesting. Maybe I'll check it out. Aside from that, really not a big fan of the whole apps and websites and shit using like facial recognition and like divulging all that personal information. Like the internet really is changing over the years, like how much information people are willing to just give up like that. And it could be, dangerous or at the very least annoying when they're selling your info to people and they're sending you all these ads or whatever because like they're documenting like your purchasing habits and all that kind of freaky shit. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Otherwise, it's been a super awesome week, and glad to be back and talk about all these important stuff. And yeah, I guess maybe I'll see you next time. I don't know.
Oh,
How about you,
absolutely.
Joel?
Well, I will say this though, as I said earlier, that your little screening review will be put up on the Raiders website for all to read, and that link shall be up in the next coming days. All the snippets and gold nuggets, and an editor's note from yours truly.
And I can
Aside from
die a
that,
little in shame a couple weeks later when I realized I sort of botched half of it.
well, I mean, it's not too late to add on to it though. So I will say, for the sake of professionalism, you can add all that stuff. Otherwise, you know what? Who cares about writing a professional review as long as it basically articulates what exactly you want to say? After all, we are not the dingos, and the standard for furry journalism is pretty low. Is a pretty low bar to climb over.
And it came just like directly like your thoughts, like this is my experience. I'm just gonna document it. So if there's some grammatical errors, it's pretty much like your flow of thought, which is pretty cool.
Right,
I'm
I like it.
just
I think you did a good job.
I'm just
I was
out
like
in the
excited.
square shouting at the top of my voice.
no, because I mean the way I would have written it would have been something a little bit different because of course I had a friggin' university education and all that stuff, and like writing thesis reports and all that. So I don't know. You just write how what it feels right, and let the good
I left
Lord
school.
guide your words.
I left
That's
school illiterate.
fair enough. Anyway, aside from that though, yeah, crazy week all around. I will say that thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as we did making it, as we always do. You can always find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. We will always be around to disseminate every single story on this ride. So for now, this is farewell, and until next time.
Bye, guys.
Don't do anything stupid when buying Pokemon cards. Seriously, what the fuck?
I could say the same about Magic the Gathering cards.